Jim Ryan just swallowed a whole bunch of lab-grown meat, and now he can talk to us. Jim Ryan from ABC. You know, Jim, in one of my previous stops in the many radio stations I've been thrown out of was one of the great farm stations in the country. And there were a lot of people who were going, oh, you've got this lab-grown meat. Look, third world countries are going to have to depend on this because that's how they're going to eat.
Sure. It's not like here, and I talked to a station this morning in Florida. The guy had just driven across the Florida Peninsula, and there were cows everywhere, and it's like that here in Texas and in Kansas. It's all over the place. There are cattle here and chickens and trout farms and whatnot, but not so much in sub-Saharan Africa and in South Asia and places where people literally are starving. So this could be one way to backstop that food insecurity that so many people are feeling, Steve.
So, Jane, jump in here with Jim.
Well, I like this idea. I saw a long story about this. Maybe it was a year or two ago, and it was approved. Right. The lab-grown meat was approved, and we were starting to see it. And I don't know because I didn't get to try it, but it was on the menu last summer in big cities like San Francisco and somewhere else. Yeah. Now it's not?
No.
No,
it's
never
wildly
made it.
Expensive. And so I think a lot of those restaurants and grocery stores that were thinking about carrying it and putting it on their menus decided it's just too expensive. I think the initial burger that was produced using lab-grown meat was something like $3,000, right, given all the R&D that went into it. And now if they were actually to put it on store shelves or put it in the meat counter, it would probably be $35 or $40 a pound. So some people pay that for Wagyu beef and whatnot, but this would be lab grown, and until they can scale it up and they're producing tons and tons of this stuff, it is going to be prohibitively expensive to a lot of people, Jane.
What about what was the product called that everybody was going to start eating? The vegan
beef?
The vegan beef. What was it called? Not necessarily meat.
Yeah, like the not burger, the not meat.
Yeah, protein. It was plant protein that was being used to make that
and
stuff.
By the way, pretty good.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I cooked with it, and it feels kind of grainy when, the raw product. It smells kind of bad when you cook it, but you taste it, and it tastes like a hamburger. It's really quite good.
And the thing in the past with these aftertastes that would last about 6 months, but not the case. Beyond Burger. Beyond Burger was the product.
Beyond Burger, that's it.
Right. Impossible Burger.
An Impossible Burger. But it's not going anywhere. I mean, as a matter of fact, the stock for that company just tanked.
Yeah, it did. And I think it's facing some of the same headwinds that we're facing with this product here, this cultivated meat product. First of all, they really need to change the name from lab-grown meat to something else. Yeah. I don't know what.
Who's up for some more lab-grown meat?
You can really taste the sugar, fats, and vitamins they dumped into it.
Who is going to be the main producer of such a thing?
A couple of California startups, Good Meat and Upside Foods, are the two companies now. Didn't they try it already? Yeah, well, they did. Yeah, they did. And the Food and Drug Administration said, fine, they're okay with these companies producing and selling, distributing this stuff. But now they're running into legislative actions. Lawmakers in places like Florida, probably Texas, Alabama, places where agriculture is big business. Call it protectionist or not, but those lawmakers are saying, hey, we can't let this become too big a thing because we've got cattle ranchers and fish farmers and others who are helping to keep the economy going and whatnot. So, yeah, it'll be tough if it catches hold at all in this country.
Is it commercially available anywhere?
There was a grocery store in Singapore that was selling the stuff. I think now these companies are producing it mainly just to get good at producing it, right?
Tom, you lived in Singapore. Can you swing by there and get us some to try it?
Sure.
Okay. Tom lived in Singapore as a child. He probably still knows somebody there.
Yeah, nice. But I don't think they're even selling it there now.
Well, and now
it's too darn expensive.
In states, they have started to ban lab-grown meat because they're closing the labs, or they're just not taking it in if it's being lab-grown somewhere else.
No, they're not allowing the importation or sale or distribution. There are criminal charges that go with some of this in some places. Other states have taken a little less drastic attack on this. In Iowa, for example, The governor has signed a bill that prohibits schools from buying lab-grown meat. But at $40 a pound, they weren't going to anyway.
No,
anytime soon.
No. Nick
Tennessee
Gale
was looking at it. Oh, yeah.
No, I was going to say, Nick Gale's live at a farm in Wisconsin. Yes, Nick, what was your question?
Well, so some of those states that are banning it, I wonder, is it because maybe the ranchers and the packers see this as a potential threat down the road and they want to protect
100%.
that?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Yeah, I think on the face of it, lawmakers in Florida were saying, look, that just this technology's been around for only 10 years. We need more testing. We don't know what the long-term effects are going to be. But I think, in the back room, there's some guy sitting there with a great big hat on and boots and saying, you know what, if you do this, you're endangering your own career here in the Florida legislature.
It's got a terrible name. It's an absolute necessity in the future for the very hungry third world. And I can tell you right now, the refugees in Gaza, this would be a perfect timing for a product like this. And it's not available, obviously.
Right.
So God bless
them. That's
them.
kind of the catch-22. I mean, in this country, we're about the only people in the world who could afford this sort of product, right? And until it's scaled up and it becomes more affordable, we can afford it. We really don't need it. Sub-Saharan Africa really needs it but can't afford it.
Though,
so
what's this? What's the super expensive beef that you can buy at Wagyu? Wagyu.
Yeah, Japanese Wagyu.
Yeah. So
which is
Wagyu
actually really very good.
It is very
delicious.
good. I got to tell you, Bill Curtis had he owns a ranch in Kansas, and he has a grass-fed cattle business, and a lot of people don't know this, but Bill actually butchered his own steers. But old still. But that was really good. So we have grass-fed beef, and we have Wagyu beef we have access to. So, it's like you said, it's not an American problem.
Not really. It's an American product, not necessarily an American problem.
So, I think we're going to see it change quickly, because think about electric vehicles, think about those batteries, think about AI. Electric beef. But think about AI and think about how technology and innovations that move so quickly. So if this has only been sort of on the market and being thought about for 3 years, I just feel like it'll move faster than we think.
Maybe.
It will, it's got some headwinds, some serious headwinds from lawmakers and interests and whatnot. But the technology is there. You can actually produce meat using the cells of living animals, not having to kill billions and billions, literally billions of cattle, chickens, fish, whatever you're butchering.
And you got a storage issue.
Well, then we got a lot of
Jim Ryan, good Texas guy. What are you grilling?
Soylent Green is people.
What are you grilling? Are you a grill guy? You must be. You're in Texas.
Grilling? Chicken.
Yeah.
Salmon.
Got a special. Oh, boy, a salmon burger on the grill is tremendous.
That's pretty good.
Got to keep it from breaking up, though.
Brats. I had grilled up some brats the other day.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. All right. Thanks for making us hungry for actual food. Jim Ryan, ABC News. Thank you, man.
All right. See you guys.
See you.